I need to use a variable from one of the data feeds and be able to look it up on the other feed that I have to make intelligent decisions. Be able to do machine learning across all these different kind of sources. And of course, at the end of the day, there's a user behind it, so visualization, rules, and the likes are also kind of important. The other piece, which is growing importance as well, is the whole behavioral aspect of things, right? Because we talked about a few things here, right? My credentials are stolen, but my behavior as a user doesn't change even if someone else is using my credentials. So the platform should be able to do all this, while on the other hand, of course, you're expecting all the regular stuff, whether it's dashboarding, whether it's reporting, data analytics, or a streamlined flow. And that's really what Simility's approach is towards fighting fraud. So we've created a platform which is able to take in all of these kind of things. It's able to sit on an existing data lake if you have one. And we see a lot of customers doing that. Fraud is just one of the reasons why they want to use data lakes, but there are others, right? I can cross-sell, I can upsell, I can deliver a better customer experience. And really the fundamental idea behind data lakes is the ability and the need for businesses to adapt. And adapt from the way they are conducting businesses, because there are new products, new ways of doing things, as well as how the fraud is also evolving. So you need to be continuously able to evolve as the environment evolves. And just to kind of put these things into perspective and how it works from a Simility perspective is, could be any customer environment and you've got users going in. What we do is, of course, we get the event data, right? This could be whatever schema you have, or if you're connected with somebody else, we can pick in that schema as well. We take in all the transaction data, event data. We also take in what we call the device data. And we've got a homegrown solution, device fingerprinting, which does fuzzy matching. A device fingerprinting, just as a quick primer, is basically a collection of different aspects from your machine, whether it's your mobile device, whether it's your laptop, and be able to create a hash. And this is not new, but what we do differently is we are able to do what we call fuzzy matching. Right? Fuzzy matching says that, hey, as a fraudster, I might change my IP address, but I'm still fundamentally the same person. So I should be able to say it's the same device, regardless of how few of the parameters which are changeable have changed. And then the other piece is this is becoming more and more important, especially as businesses look to get the next gen of customers, whether it's the millennials. They're not on the credit systems. They want to be able to do things differently. So you need to be able to collect data from different sources, whether it's your social data, phone data. Like you'll have information around, if you put a phone number, I can tell it's a cell phone, prepaid, postpaid, VoIP, landline. And all that kind of information is very useful from a fraud detection perspective. So the ability to bring all of this is what we do from a fraud platform perspective. We're able to do machine learning, we're able to do manual rules, and of course kind of give that seamless flow. And again, from a deployment perspective, we can do SaaS, on-prem, or a virtual private cloud. And again, different businesses, both financial as well as non-financial e-commerce retailers, are in different phases in terms of where they are with this. So let me try to do this. This is the first time I'm doing this because we couldn't do it over here. We're going to switch to the demo file if you can. So this actually gives you a sense of, yes, we're complex from the data ingestion perspective, but we make it very simple from an end user perspective. So this is the dashboard that you'll typically see. You'll get a basic sense. It's all customizable. But then what happens is, from a queues perspective, is basically where your fraud analyst is going day in and day out. So every morning I wake up, I'm maybe, say, responsible only for the wire transfer. So I'm going to see only one queue maybe. And if I click into the wire transfer queue, I can see all the transactions that have been flagged. Now, these are the ones that are in the gray area. So these are not very bad, they're not very good, but somewhere in the middle. And that's where you want to kind of make it efficient. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on one of the first ones. And what it takes you into is this whole network graph. And again, this is kind of a modern UI look and feel. Basically, the hexagon represents a transaction, and all the other entities that are associated with it are kind of given to you in a very seamless and easy to view manner. So for example, in this way, if you just go back to the previous one. Yeah, so you're seeing the hexagon associated with a device which is on the right top, and it has 5 different users. Now you're wondering, like, why would it be 5 users? Yes, I can understand maybe it's a device a family of 4 is using, very unlikely even today, right? Even my kids want to have their own iPad and do things. So again, it starts giving you things which are interesting in nature. And then on the right bottom where you see those 3 devices also, that's what Simility's device fuzzy matching is doing. It's basically saying that I was able to look at previously this device, it has very similar characteristics to other devices that I've seen before. And oh, by the way, 2 of them were known to be bad. So if you look at it from the lens of a fraud analyst, right, he's quickly able to see a lot of these things like, hey, it's the same device, he's masquerading it in some way or shape or form. So you can start looking at things that way. What we also do is, remember I was telling you, it's the more data you can get, the more better it is from a fraud perspective. So what we do is, we not only take that data, but we're also able to make it easy from a visualization perspective. So this screen shows you a time series view of how the particular user was interacting. So on the top you'll see he loaded the login page, he logged in, he changed the password, updated the email, added a beneficiary, did a transfer and logged out. Right? So very suspicious, of course. Why would someone do that? And of course, we have the ability to do things behind the scenes, both from machine learning as well as manual rules, to be able to kind of do this more programmatically as well. And that's where you'll see the rules kind of triggered. The other thing you can also do, just again showing some different views, but how much time is this user spending typically on this particular session versus a typical user. So in this scenario, most of the users, as well as this guy himself previously, maybe did only 0 to 2, but this session it's high. Versus on the other page, which is typically a transfer, they spend more time, and it's very less this time around. So again, I'm building as an analyst, able to kind of, if this is a gray area, I'm not very sure to be able to make a quick decision, I can start looking at these different kind of data. And again, this goes on, so if you go into the mouse movements, I can do the same kind of thing, which is the blue lines show typically how they were used before, but this is of course a bot, probably someone has stolen credentials. He's going from raster 0, 0 at the bottom directly to the right top, which is probably a transfer button. And again, you can keep adding more like geolocation and stuff like that. So again, where has this user been in the past, if you will. So that kind of gives you a sense of being able to see these varied kind of data. And again, this is all customizable because not every business is the same, right? As an e-commerce company, I might want to look at different data versus a financial company, which might do something else. So what we also do is, yes, we've taken all this different kind of data, but the users still need an ability to write rules very quickly because there's suddenly a surge. Your machine learning models, yes, are running, but they're not going to probably be able to catch it up very quickly. You need the ability to write quickly rules. So we're going to show you how you can do this on the Simility platform without writing even a single line of code. So what you do is, here you see my destination phone state. It's a predefined variable. I'm defining the geo distance between the two, whether the IP versus who's been sent this transfer, and I can quickly run rules. I can add conditions on the fly. It quickly just adds on things. And say as an analyst, I decided, hey, I want to change some rules. I want to test it before it actually pushes into production. I can quickly run the test button, and it kind of gives you all the other data as well. So again, time is short, but I just wanted to give you kind of a glimpse in terms of, yes, you're bringing in a lot of the data, but you don't have to compromise with regards to the user experience because eventually as volumes grow, as businesses grow, every second that is being spent extra in terms of reviewing that case hits your overall efficiency. So if you transition back over to the slides, yeah. So the other part, which I just wanted to kind of highlight out here, is the device fingerprinting, which you saw with all the fuzzy matching. This is some of the network effect that we have from a of customers, just in terms of devices, mobile devices, email, IP addresses, just kind of gives you visibility. Like, so if someone in one part of the world has said that this particular subnet that these users are coming in from are not good, I can start sharing that kind of information. And again, we work with you in terms of what is shareable and not, because not everybody wants to share, even though it is kind of a non-PII information. So again, good global device visibility. And what we're doing as part of this forum is kind of making this available complimentary to the folks who are here. So you can just go to simility.com/spotindia. And if you guys want to give it a shot, it's free for you guys to kind of use it and kind of test it out. The whole thing, including all the fuzzy matching, being able to kind of attach it with sessions and the ability to double click and drill down into some of these details. So I know I'm almost out of time, but just to kind of conclude, right? We've got a platform which is like a data lake. You can put in any kind of stuff in there. We've got tons of customers across the globe who are running on it. Feel free to go to our site and download either the case studies or the webinars. And again, if you want to avail of that offer that we have, just go to that particular URL. More than happy to kind of help you folks. Awesome. Thanks.